Maximum prison does not care about innocence. It cares about survival. Chinedu replayed the courtroom moment every night. What if he had spoken earlier? What if he had refused? But prison does something strange. It removes fear. Because once you have lost everything, what else is there to lose? He studied law behind bars, helped inmates draft appeals, and soon they started calling him barrister. Then, 10 years later, an email reached a US-based innocence clinic. Subject line: he didn't do it. Attached were old cloud backups, deleted security footage fragments, a voice note from that night, glass shattering, a girl screaming, Zainat's voice, but the Beyanese dynasty still controlled power, so they buried it again. And the whistleblower paid the price. 15 years passed, the video still existed, hidden, unused. Daniel had carried it like a wound. He once told Chinedu during a prison visit, but what could two powerless boys do against a dynasty? So the flash drive slept in the dark, but the girl never slept. That night, she told her father the truth. She cried, she insisted, she was called dramatic, disrespectful, she was sent away. Then she discovered she was pregnant, a teenager, alone. The house that should have protected her became a courtroom. She was judged, thrown out, silenced to protect reputation. She left town quietly, carrying shame that was never hers. She raised her son alone, never told him who his father was, but she always said one thing: I was not lying. 15 years passed, presidents changed, governors rotated, her father grew powerful. His alliance with the Beyanese family rotted into rivalry. Somewhere else, Daniel started a small tech program for underprivileged teenagers. One of his brightest students was a quiet 14-year-old boy. Sharp eyes, quick mind. One afternoon, while organizing archived files, the boy found a hidden folder. Just a date. He played it. People struggling. A repeated scream. A conversation echoing from 15 years ago. Lucian's voice, angry, cruel. His mother's voice, pleading. No, please, stop. Threats. Lucian laughing. Do you know whose house you're in? You think anyone will believe you? Then another voice, Folaye. Have you not got what you wanted? Clean up this mess. No one must find out. He listened again. He would recognize that voice anywhere, his mother's voice. He copied the file, said nothing. That night, he played it for her. She froze. 15 years collapsed into seconds. The next day, she went to Daniel. Time stopped. He confessed everything, how he recorded it, how he was afraid, how Chinedu went to prison. She did not cry. I have been looking for a weapon, she said. Now I have one. She went alone to her father's estate. 15 years earlier, he had sent her away. Now he was richer, louder, feared. She stood in his living room. I told you the truth. She played the audio. This time, he listened. Not as a politician, not as an ally, but as a rival. Rage met opportunity. The recording was released. Publicly, she came forward, face uncovered. The nation heard the recording. The nation heard her scream. And then she said, that same night, an innocent boy was sacrificed. Now it was no longer just assault. It was conspiracy, obstruction, perversion of justice. Her father funded investigators. Forensics reopened the case. Old enemies found courage. It became power versus power. Security footage fragments resurfaced. Metadata exposed tampering. DNA evidence contradicted the original story. Hashtags trended, free Chinedu, justice for Zainat, power is not law. Chinedu, forgotten in maximum prison, became relevant again, not because the system cared, but because powerful men were fighting. 15 years stolen. Freedom returned, not by mercy, but by rivalry. When Chinedu walked out, he did not yet know everything. Only that truth had surfaced. Folaye was charged again. Lucian faced trial. The Beyanese Empire did not collapse, but it bled. The girl rebuilt her name. Her son kept studying tech. Daniel finally slept. But everyone understood something uncomfortable. Justice did not move because truth was pure. It moved because power changed sides. 3 years later, the Beyanese estate still stands. The gates still open. The escorts still drive. But something is different. Chinedu is now a lawyer, not for revenge, for resistance. He built a foundation for the wrongfully convicted. Because he learned something, in a country where influence speaks louder than evidence, truth needs backing. Justice in Delacroix is not blind. It peeks, and it asks, "Who is your father?" And sometimes, it decides from there. If this story made you uncomfortable, good. Because justice should matter. If you believe truth should not depend on your surname, subscribe. Because here, we tell the stories they try to bury, and the next one is even deeper.
Thank you for watching till the end.